Since the last meeting that I wasn't there, since the first meeting since then, we've had another one.
I think we had another one. I think we missed a couple.
Did I miss two?
I don't think you've missed that one.
I think I only missed one,
Yeah.
which was, I thought was the last one, but could be.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, so can we call zoning commission meeting ZON-24-04 for Evans Farm to order? Can someone take roll, please?
I'll take roll.
Thank you.
Mr. Bells,
Yes?
Mr. McNulty. Here. Ms. Foster,
Here.
Mr. Pierce,
Here.
and Mr. Adam Holt. All right,
We'll see if he comes in late.
yep.
All right, this looks like a very short application. I assume there's no staff report that came with it?
In fact, there was. It's a very short staff report, so we will have that up on the screen if you want to follow along. I'll take you through it.
Feel free to present your staff report.
And credit where credit's due, this was Robin who went through and gave you just about all these notes. So
Okay.
we have, again, the one request for tonight. It's ZON-24-04, and the location would be an Evans Farm. This is the essentially all parcels within the Evans Farm Plan Commercial District is what this request is applicable to. It's 414 acres and planned commercial district zoning. So this application is to amend the currently effective zoning development plan for the 414 acres within Evans Farm Plan Commercial District. They were previously approved under the application 15-0105, ZON 1707, ZON 1903, ZON 2002, ZON 2104, ZON 2106, and ZON 2204. So I'll skip through that because I just read the ZON numbers. The applicant with this request is asking for additional signage to be permitted within Evans Farm. The currently effective zoning plans I just went through, I will skip to the surrounding area. So looking to the north, we have zone district, planned residential district, and the land use there is Evans Farm and Berlin Township. To the south is Farm Residential Zoning District, Orange Township. The land use is single-family homes in Old Lewis Center Village. To the east is single-family planned residential district, zoning, and the land uses are Bryn Mawr and Meadows at Lewis Center subdivisions. And then finally to the west, the zoning is Farm Residential District and land use single-family homes with the railroad corridor. Scrolling down, we have the aerial look at the map showing Evans Farm in that brighter color, and then there's several subdivisions that I mentioned. Lewis Center Road to the south. This planned commercial district is the reddish color, which particularly we're talking about today the east side of the main entryway with the multi-use buildings, and you will see in the end of the staff report momentarily those large renderings that hopefully clarify the type of request that they're after, at least for today. So from section 6, site amenities, PCD signage, number 10, temporary building signs. The applicant's proposal is to add the sub-paragraph C as follows. So banners, this would say banners are permitted within the Evans Farm PCD with no more than 250 square feet in size for advertising businesses, special events, for sale and lease, and other advertising to promote the JED district. Banners shall require a permit and shall be allowed for a period not to extend 6 months. All right. So as mentioned, here's the rendering, Exhibit A, and the banner size, approximately 10 by 24 feet. That would be a 240 square foot size if you are doing the math. This is one of the renderings that they are proposing, but there's a second one below that that has slightly different decals on it. As far as the staff comments, staff is generally supportive of the request, but recommends adding language that banners shall not face Lewis Center Road. Staff also recommends changing the language from JED District to Evans Farm Commercial District. So I wanted to make sure that you were aware that there are a few of the example motions here that this was again staff's idea to give you the example motions for your consideration. And then these would be, so modifications that include that the two different recommendations. Again, it's for your consideration, so ultimately if you decide that you don't want these two changes or just want one of them, that would be up for your discussion. So that takes me through the staff report, and I'll do my best to answer any questions you have.
So staff is good with the 6-month time period, I believe, is what the applicant requested?
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah, when does the and I don't know, maybe it's for them, but how will we measure 6 months? You know, and is it 6 months only on this side of the street? Is it 6 months for the whole place? How many signs are we talking about?
Of course, I'll defer to the applicant for any
Yep,
further
yep.
clarification.
Okay, yeah, so
Yep.
that's fine. The applicant wants to state their name and address, although,
Daniel Griffin.
Thank you.
5672 Evans Farm Drive, Lewis Center, Ohio, 43035. Really appreciate being here, and I know all of you guys from Evans Farm, and great to meet you. This came up in a you know, we're reviewing all of our zoning text as we do every year, and now that the commercial center's coming up and we're in these JED meetings and we're talking about how to promote the Evans Farm, Orange Township Town Center, we looked and we thought that
you scroll up to the picture of the banner.
So that
Thank you.
area that's covered is just part of the elevator shaft. And we started talking about, okay, when we have events in Orange Township, how do people that drive by not face, so they're not facing Lewis Center. You know, I don't know about the future, but right now, they're just the two elevator shafts on either side. And we really wanted to attract businesses, so Sexton Pizzas is coming. So we want to be able to not just put it on the internet, not do this, people driving by should know there's a pizza place open, Standardized Brewery open, of course, they're right out front, and they've been extremely successful. Go ahead.
Welcome, Mike.
Don't worry about it, it's usually me late, so don't.
I'm sorry we gave up and started.
Yeah. So when we looked through the code and we were getting ready to put these up, we realized that the banner section and you know, didn't cover this big of a banner, but then there was a part in the section that said you guys could approve up to 300 square feet to 480 square feet, but that was out sort of on 23 and billboards, and we said, look, this is the perfect spot to do this type of thing, and it would be measured from no longer, and with all the events that we're all having and coordinating, I doubt 6 months any one would sit, but, you know, it won't be any longer from 6 months from the day we get the permit to put it up. So I'm good with your changes, actually. I don't know about facing Lewis Center Road, even though the code talks about that. At this point, we don't have any intention, but, you know, we could not put that in there so we don't have to come back if we find, and you guys give us the permit. You'll have that option during the permit stage, to make sure we don't do anything that's not good looking, but we're trying. So anyway, so that's why we decided to come and ask for amending our signage regulations, because we didn't really think about those areas, when we put it together.
So-
I understand about not wanting to face Lewis Center Road. I kind of get it, but I see what the signs are for. Are they still going to be effective? Not facing Lewis Center
Well,
Road?
right now, since these are the backs of the building, and we're talking, you know, as we grow, there may be buildings that these are appropriate that actually face the banner itself faces Lewis Center Road. But with all the widening of Lewis Center and just these buildings, we wanted something that when people are driving down, they're not looking over, you know, dangerously looking over, they're driving down and you can see these right there. Right there. So real effective, and that's,
Okay, good.
yeah, I think that would be good for.
I guess one of my questions is, so a business or an entity requests a sign 6 months, is that their the total existence of time that they're there? They can only have that one sign for those 6 months, or is it, hey, they get it 6 months?
We, as the developer,
Yeah.
are using it as a tool to support the businesses
Okay.
and to support events that we all have together.
Yeah,
That's really it. So
Yeah.
what's gonna happen is Sexton's Pizza is gonna look at us and we're gonna say, hey, when are you opening? Let's get you a banner and put it up there so it announces open door, coming soon, and we'll do them, and that's it, then we'll take it down.
yeah. But 2 years later, they're having a special on pizzas again. Do they get another 6 months, or do they get another sign? Or this is one-time shot is what I'm trying to get an understanding of.
Would you,
Yeah.
yes, sorry, stand up, state your name and address.
Michael Mockler, 758 Radio Drive, Lewis Center, Ohio, 43035. Actually, one of my first questions is if it's up for 6 months and we wanted to do another 6 months, can we reapply for the permit for the same banner? That would be one of my questions. Two, facing Lewis Center Road, as he was mentioning, that there is plans for development that they will be facing Lewis Center Road. But at the same time, if we wanted to change the direction of the banner and do a projected one off of the building, would that be an option instead of having it flat against the building if we wanted to do a smaller building, kind of like a full banner?
And so on the full banner side, we can do those now and they're out there.
I think we're looking at banner signs as they're currently, so let's start with the banner question.
We can do a projected sign, but no.
Right.
So we can do up to, Evans Farm text states up to a 5-foot tall banner type sign or flag sign. Glade signage, here it is. So up to 15 square feet per side, minimum 8 foot and 8.5 feet from grade. It's this one here. And then wall mounted is a different category. It's small.
Eric, does the new zone,
Yeah, Eric, can you?
the new zoning code allow a pole sign?
I don't think we're taking away from what currently is allowed. And then this development, if you want to look at the current, kind of the table, I can pass that around.
Just thinking of the size, I think we're, the application is okay, but it's just, I think you're thinking of the size of what.
Well, yeah, but there it is in electric lights.
Right.
And I guess the general sense of the question is, how many signs can be up at one time? I mean, if it becomes a place that's flooded with signs, you know.
Yeah.
you-
So it's, I don't think it was in
You'll
the
see
law.
there is a maximum size per building face listed. I think that's 300 square feet total, based on which face of the building that you're talking about for wall mounted signage. This is a little bit different category, it's a banner sign. So I guess it would be up to the board if they wanted to put some type of language about that, because that's not currently listed from what I saw.
I mean, I certainly like the idea of promoting businesses and making sure people are aware of, hey, this came in on the scene and that sort of thing, but I think we have to be careful of how many and how often, and you got
Yeah.
signs everywhere, and every time I drive through this community, it's all these signs everywhere.
Yeah, we don't
I mean,
want
don't get me wrong, it's really nice created signs, but
No problem.
Yeah.
I think we agree with you. And again, on the permit stuff, when we come in for permits, we can always address that. Again, right now, we have 4 elevator shafts. Are we gonna put them on the other 2? Right now, we don't, they're so far back, I don't think they help us. But we wanna at least, so I would say, if you want to, and we find out later that we can do it tastefully and get more, I would say we limit it to 4, and then we can always come back and No, we've always done stuff tastefully, so
Yes.
I wanna give you guys some comfort level that there are some, right, because, but at the same time, you've always worked with us, and if we all decide that it's good to have another one here and different, then we can come back.
Well, from my perspective, is like I've told you, Dan, in the past, that I trust your ability to know that, hey, what is good for your entire community, so that I don't feel like I have to be a policeman up here. Oh, we need to regulate Dan as to the size of his sign or what colors they are. Look, these folks are business people, and they know exactly what is going to be a positive for their business versus a negative.
And we have, and you know, these businesses are part of Orange Township, and, you know, we're starting a little center business association, so it's important for us to help these businesses grow on behalf of all of us, so, yeah, I think if you would like, you know, we can, banners of this sort, we allow them facing the road if we get there. Again, that's down the road, but then we limit it to 4 unless we come in for a permit, and we can administratively, we can come in front of you and say, yeah, it looks good there, and, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I like that. The other thing, just real quick, 6 months, is that, I mean, how you come up with 6 months in a general sense?
Here's
Go ahead.
the reason we came up with 6 months is, here we are, somebody announces Section B.
Yeah.
How long does it take them to finish out their thing? If we don't have anything else going that, we would like them, while they're finishing out their space,
Okay,
and
okay.
getting ready to
The
own.
coming soon
They're
story.
coming soon.
Okay, yeah. So, let's say, so I have a 6-month permit. I'm gonna open in 30 days, because I'm not gonna tell people I'm coming soon, because it gets stale if it's more than 30 days. You know, people are gonna forget it.
Redoing another sign.
Right, that's what I'm wondering. So, what I'm wondering is,
He's making more money.
if I come in, I put up a coming soon, because I'm 45 days out, and I theoretically have the 6 months, so I have a few more months on that. I can change my sign, and I think that's appropriate.
Yeah.
Change my sign to say, now open, come in and check us out.
Yeah.
And matter of fact, you know, 2 months later, if it's Mother's Day, you know, whatever. I mean, I think that may be okay. 6 months seems long for a banner sign, but I'm probably comfortable with 4 months, but I recognize I really want to drive business as much as possible,
And
yeah.
we're gonna be coming to you for the permit anyway.
Yeah, yeah.
So if we,
So are you saying that we should be able to have an opportunity to modify the sign, patch it? So coming soon, and it's only up for 1 month, we can go back up, put a patch on the same.
That's what I think. If we're trying to promote business, one is I want to give you the, and I, you know, hopefully everybody else, but I want to give you the indication we're coming here, so people can salivate about the opportunity you're going to be here. And now that I'm open, you know, I don't have to come up and pull the door every time. Now that you're open or whatever, yeah, yeah,
you can just modify it
Yeah.
to now open.
yeah, 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 yeah.
Yeah, and I don't have a problem with that as long as that's part of the 6 month
6 months, right,
phase.
right,
Or
right.
like heaven forbid, there's a construction change and you're waiting longer.
Yeah, yeah.
So 6 months should cover that.
Turning over that we'll never want them that long. And
Yeah, yeah.
Neither will other people, because they'll be the next guy.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm getting ready to open 30 days, where's mine?
Now my only, the reason the 6 months thing still bothers me, and I'm thinking 4 months personally, is because, I don't know what these signs are gonna be made out of, but the sun beating down on the sign and certain things in the sign begins to look old, stale. I got my eye shaking his head saying no. You know, is that, a sign being up 6 months, is that, what's the word? If you're looking for something. Yeah, the aesthetics, is it like become boring that it becomes like, oh my goodness, when are they gonna take that sign down? You know, because hopefully it's no longer still saying now open, but anyhow. Okay.
They're not gonna pay finance.
Okay.
6 months is not a long enough.
That's a half a year.
Period for those that actually fade in color, look bad.
Yeah.
I mean, that's not, yeah, I mean, you've gotta get into a couple years.
Okay.
Look at the pole banner site you see on the streets. I mean, those are in good shape, that been up for, multiple years.
We won't, and again, we won't, you know this, you guys know this. If it starts to look bad, I can tell you, me and my partners will, that'll come down quicker than 6 months. Mike will be responsible.
Okay.
Does the code have any limitations on that?
Say that again?
Does the code have any limitations on that? Code, the zoning code.
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 Yeah.
It was,
On how long a sign can?
Not in this category. The only
Yeah.
sign that has a 6-month stipulation is a construction real estate sign, and you see those all around for the empty parcels that, they come in after 6 months, they do a renewal, they're supposed to do that kind of timely, because it is out of compliance after that 6 months, but as I understand, they can do that on a continual basis every 6 months until they're done with that sign.
You're correct, that's what the code says. It's 6 months for those type of signs as well.
So those are the 4 by
Really, we
8s.
tried to stay within your
Okay.
code anyway, just sort of modifying the size.
I just have couple things to add. I think because I go up at Evans Farm all the time, and it's always, everything always looks, pleasing to the eye. I prefer that style on the elevator shaft than the poles, I think. I really like that style. But, I'm not concerned about the 6 months because it doesn't mean that they have to stay up there for 6 months. They can come down a lot sooner.
Yeah.
And I don't think that they will let it get to the point where it looks like I'm driving somewhere down in wherever, and it doesn't look very well.
Yeah.
I think
It'll
it'll
be
always look
interesting
good.
because when we get more buildings this.
Right, it'll start
They'll
shifting.
block this area anyway, and then we'll probably do some nice colors or a mural or something. And we won't be putting these on, and we'll put them on the new building, so.
I guess, one question, and I don't know what happens, right, with the, walk with me through this story, for people who are able to, have the home business, they're able to have a sign out front or something, right?
Yeah, it's usually limited to like their window space or
Yeah,
something. That's like a small sign.
Okay. Any concern about other businesses or something else, somewhere else putting up signs and, I mean,
In
this story is
district, the
controlled.
answer, in this district, no, we're in charge.
They
We'll be
can't.
putting them up, we'll be
Okay.
working with the business, and we'll decide how they look and make sure they look.
Okay.
Just to confirm, it's the,
Very
Evans
uniform.
Farm is the only area we're talking about.
Yeah, okay, yeah,
And
yeah.
this is all just strictly like, businesses and public events
Yeah.
and things like that? So it's,
Marketing, like we're gonna have an Oktoberfest, that we're all
Okay.
getting the Lewis Center business people together, and there's gonna be a band, and we're shutting the streets down, and so we'll wanna, probably a little too soon to get it ready for that, but we'll wanna do it for that. And of course, that won't be up for 6 months, it'll be up for 2 or 3, where we can get some,
okay. But it's strictly like business and community events as opposed to, I don't know, Sally just graduated from high school.
No,
Or
right.
vote for so-and-so, or I
No.
just want to make sure that it's
guaranteed.
controlled.
Dan, if Evans Farm, I don't know what you call it, you have your own association for the businesses and the homes.
And you would
with-
approve
with-
it.
Well, exactly, with respect to any signage or any of those issues.
Oh, they have to get our approval and
Exactly.
everything, and
Okay.
before we come for the permit, and
Right.
and
Right.
don't give us a permit for Sally's birthday.
Or,
Right,
you know what I'm
and-
saying?
You're right. No, I'm with you.
It's not Columbus where this little business can move in and do what they want.
No, we control the sign.
This is not anything
control the
like
sign
that
and
whatsoever.
I understand, I appreciate that. My responsibility here, right, is to make sure that I agree and not just wholesale say, hey, because you're great, I'm gonna let you do what you wanna do, right? So, not that I won't necessarily agree with you, I haven't disagreed with you on anything, I just wanna take my responsibility serious. I'm not gonna co-sign just because you're Evans Farms, right? So that's all I'm saying,
There's
yeah.
gotta be guide rails.
Yeah,
Dean has
exactly.
been putting guide rails
Yes,
on me since
yes.
I got here 10 years ago.
Yeah, okay.
Now, if anyone wants to see, I know you're visual folks, there's a rendering of the entire elevation if you want to see how that looks in respect to the elevator shafts.
Yeah, yeah. Can we see that?
Feel free to pass it
Yeah.
around.
Yeah, you can,
We got very limited material.
Start on one side.
Doesn't the zoning code say it is 200 square feet max, and this is 240?
Should say 240. Because that's the size of that.
Yeah,
open
that is
space.
240.
Yeah, 10 by 24.
This is all under the new zoning code, because the old one would not have allowed anything that high sitting
Won't
on
you
those
pass
elevator
those all down
shafts.
to Karthik, and then we can pass them back this
Okay.
way. As a-
Pretty much as a divergence from the current
you look
code
at it first
that we're
and then,
talking about, to go well above the 15 feet.
Oh, yeah,
Correct.
no, you couldn't have done that. We would have sent you out if you walked in with that in the old zoning code. We, you know,
Yeah.
And actually,
Well, like, as we know, this is a unique
I'll
animal.
pass them all
it
together.
is unique animal, yes, yes.
And appropriately so, we've all worked well together to get it there.
Is this glass facade that it will be covering? Is this a glass that it will be covering?
No, it's wood. It's covering just wood above the elevator
Yeah,
shaft.
and I guess it's hardy or vinyl.
And you also have agreed, I think you said that, to use the Evans Farm versus the JED, you know, use it.
Yeah, oh
Yeah, because that makes more sense.
It's because part of it started to come up with our JED meeting about supporting businesses and everything, and I'm thinking, yeah, this is the JED district, but yeah, Evans Farm commercial is the same.
Yeah,
That's where the JED district is, so yeah.
yeah.
Does anyone on the commission feel the need to add a stipulation for just community events and businesses in Evans Farm Lewis Center? Or you feel comfortable with the applicant keeping it in the guardrails, as it were?
I absolutely do.
Yeah, I'm comfortable with
Okay.
as is.
I recommend the addition. And then my only other question is, we said 4 signs, is that what?
4 signs.
4 signs, yeah, yeah.
We get to the point where we need 6,
Yeah.
we'll come back and,
Yeah.
and you guys will,
Okay.
as long as I've done everything good, you guys we'll all work together, like we always do.
Very good.
All right, so we're gonna limit it to 4 signs on elevator shafts. And do we want limited to, community events and businesses in Evans Farm Lewis Center?
Sure.
You feel better about that too?
Yeah.
All right. We have 3 to 2, is that okay?
Yeah, it's fine.
Is that all right with the
That's
applicant?
same, yeah, and
Okay.
I don't, businesses, I'm just making sure that we define it right, 'cause, you know, somebody will look at it and say, so that includes, like the sign I put there, which is our business, so making sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, your commercial activity stuff, yeah.
Yeah.
So what I guess what I'm saying is I don't want you, like advertising the Jiffy Lube on 23. It's just for your immediate, not that I'm thinking you would do that, but, you know, I don't know how long I'll be here. I don't know how long y'all will be here, just as long as we,
Right, and someone may find a reason to sell the space to advertise down the street, so, you know. We want to make sure it's not, right?
Enough businesses in there to cover it.
Excellent.
I almost think that restriction is probably in your own code.
Yeah,
That
probably.
somebody wouldn't have, hey, you approved the sign, but you
Until
can
he
sell that
read it and
space
point it
for
out.
something else.
You know,
I can't believe
I
that's
hope
not
it
already
is.
covered.
It's probably in our designs.
I bet it is.
I would hope so, but
I would hope
that's
so,
just,
yeah.
I want to be clear.
After
Yeah,
10 years,
I
I think
agree.
we've gotten through it enough that we're getting closer to not having.
Yeah,
But
good,
these are good things.
good.
Good issues.
What are some of the new businesses opening there while we're making this note?
So, have you been up lately, or you kind of, so Craig Cookie opens up, it's,
Yeah.
I wanna call that one side of the street Sugar Plum Lane or something.
Yeah.
It's just
All
sugar,
sweets.
it's Craig Cookie.
Yeah.
Then the dentist is at the end, which is perfect.
Yeah.
So Craig, Bronzing Bar opened up, Donaldson's is about 30, 60 days from opening up. Standardized Brewery opened, Sexton Pizza's, working
What do you wish you had there? What do you wish you had there if you said, we really would like to have a,
We have buildings 5 and 6 that are out on Lewis Center Road. That's why I said,
Yeah.
I don't wanna say we're not facing Lewis Center Road, but we will be doing some building. And we already have a restaurant. What we are seeing happen, and it's exciting for all of us, we had to incubate businesses to start.
yeah.
And of course, that was back in the days where everybody said that was gonna work,
Yeah,
it was crazy. Now, that everybody's seeing it up,
Yeah,
driving through,
yeah.
and people are walking around, and Jennings Sports Park now is moving forward after all that debacle. It's great. I see, we want more restaurants,
Okay,
which is always critical in a
Yeah.
small town.
Yeah.
to make it walkable. And we do have a restaurant, it's been said publicly, but I don't wanna say it here because I don't know if they've signed a lease, I think they've signed a lease, but we've got a nice restaurant out in front in the next building that's coming. We've got our workout facility coming,
You-
restaurants.
Okay.
Restaurants, but
okay.
but again, we're never doing the chain stuff, which I think is in our code too. We're not doing the chain stuff, so I love to see a kitchen social that used to be, was gonna be there. But then, until we
Yeah.
could get settled in, everybody's waiting for that 23 bridge home road extension. To that new, and once that happens,
It'll
these
go.
buildings and businesses
Yeah.
are gonna go big time. We've actually already talked to a grocery store, again, I don't wanna say boutique, but smaller.
Yeah.
High brand grocery store to come out. They all say the same thing, as soon as that overpass comes off 23,
We're ready to go.
just take us west.
Yeah.
Yeah, restaurants.
Okay,
And we're being big. We've got a lot of businesses that we're saying no to, not because we don't want them there, but you gotta make sure they can make it in the short run, and you don't wanna have two pizza places.
Right.
You wanna make sure that you help them.
yeah.
That's
Very good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is the Jennings Sports Park happening? The sports park happening?
Yeah,
So,
it's
2
happening.
years?
10 years ago, I was gonna do it with Joe Morgan, the Cincinnati Reds player, and I played glove all night. And so I was gonna do it with him, and then Jennings came in, and we worked that out, so he decided to do it. I've been working with him for the last 10 years, and had our funding, started the project, and then the bonds didn't sell and go through, and it's a long thing, but it is back on full track, and they tell me the lights are up, they tell me they're gonna be open this year,
Oh, wow.
which I'm a developer, and I like being, filling the glass full, I'm guessing springtime, to be fair. All turf fields, all 6 of them being, they're doing it, it's
Good.
To know.
yeah, we're excited about that.
Yeah.
It's
Excellent.
up and down. So, thank you.
All right, does the applicant have any more comments or anything
No.
else to present? Does the commission have any more questions about the applicants? Anything, okay, are we good, with the, approval with modifications, including?
Somebody who wrote all those modifications is gonna need to read that since.
That's correct. You'll want to read each modification,
You're gonna
line
have to-
item.
Have to read that since.
Yeah,
Yep.
Eric, did you write a good modification list for us?
I have 2 of the ones that,
Well,
were
we
brought
have the
forward.
we have the 2 existing ones.
Exactly.
And then we had the, number 3, we had limited to, 4 banner signs on the elevator shafts. And number 4, banner signs are limited to community events and businesses in Lewis Farm, or sorry, Evans Farm.
Yeah. Lewis Farm is the next project.
Don't say that. Does the applicant have any issues with those added stipulations?
I think
Nope.
we're good. Thank you.
Okay, then if I could have someone on the commission.
I think someone who wrote those needs to
Needs
read
to read it.
Someone who wanted those and wrote those down.
I don't mind
needs-
reading them.
needs
You
to-
know,
Okay,
I'll
I
be
was like, I
happy
don't
to
know
read
if
it.
as the chair I'm allowed
I'll
to
be
read them, that
happy
might
to
be
read it.
undue influence. So can I have a motion?
Yes.
What was that?
I said, I'll make a motion.
So I need to read the whole thing.
You need to read the whole
And
thing.
motion by Les
Yes,
Pierce.
yes, exactly.
No worries. All right, motion by Les Pierce to recommend to the Board of Township Trustees, the board, the approval with modifications of zoning application number ZON 24-04 of BZ Evans LLC, the pages of which are each stamped received with Orange Township zoning on 6/18/24, requesting the amendment of the currently effective development plan for property owned by BZ Evans LLC et al. And others. Application number 15-0105, number ZON-17-07, number ZON-19-03, number ZON-2002, number ZON-21-04, number ZON-2106, and number ZON-22-04. Upon finding that it is in the interest of the public convenience, comfort, prosperity, or general welfare, or sufficiently in accordance with the comprehensive plan, including additional modifications listed below. Number one, language will be added that prohibits banner signs from directly facing Lewis Center Road. Number two, applicant will replace the JEDD district with Evans Farms Commercial District. Number three, limited to 4 banner signs on elevator shafts. Number 4, banner signs are limited to community events and businesses in Evans Farm.
Pause for a quick question from,
Sorry, I was
Okay.
gonna ask real quick, are we going to, now, right now, right, they're not on facing Lewis Center Road, but in the future, they might be, as we talked about. Are we gonna limit that now, and then we'll come back in the
That's what I
future
recommend.
when we figure out the,
That's what we
Yeah,
recommend.
that's what we recommend, yeah.
That's what we recommend. When you move towards Lewis Center Road, then we can address them directly on Lewis Center Road. Right now, since you're still decent,
no, but, I'm good with that.
right now, it's more likely.
You guys all gotta be here, though, you gotta stay. I'm going with it. Good.
All right. Is the applicant good with the stipulation still?
Yes.
Okay. Can I have a second?
I second the motion.
Okay.
all right, motion made by Mr. Pierce, seconded by Mr. Avanhula. Those voting, Mr. Bellis,
Yes.
Mr. McNulty,
Yes.
Ms. Foster,
Yeah.
Mr. Pierce,
Yes.
and Mr. Avanhula.
Yes.
And that motion carries.
Okay, motion carries.
Thank you very much.
Thank
Thank you,
you.
Dan.
Do we have any other business before the commission?
Not for this meeting.
All right, does the commission have anything else they want to discuss, or can I fully call this meeting to a close?
You may.
Called to a close.
All right, thank you.
Okay. I will, yes, thank you.
Thank you all for being here.